So yesterday, Nintendo announced that a Nintendo Direct Indie World presentation was happening today at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this is something we've been talking about pretty recently on the channel. I said that I felt that there was going to be an Indie World presentation happening in the month of August, and lo and behold, it has actually happened, which obviously means other things that we'll talk about later on in this video. But what was shown at this presentation? Were any new games here, and what were the games that were shown, and are they cool? Are they games that you should have on your radar? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. So if this is your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, be sure to like and share the video. But without any further ado, let's talk about the Indie World presentation and the games that were at it. So Nintendo kicked this off with an absolute banger of a game that this game looks absolutely jaw-droppingly gorgeous, like just absolutely fantastic. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Now, looking at this gameplay footage, you can see that there are heavy Jet Set Radio vibes to it, and that's a good thing. You're going around this big sprawling world, grinding on different things, tagging different things with graffiti. There's a story that's going on in here as well. You're basically trying to become like the king of the area. I don't care. This gameplay and this gameplay footage looks absolutely fantastic. Jet Set Radio is a criminally underrated game, of course huge on the Dreamcast, but now it looks like this game is picking up that tradition of Jet Set Radio and bringing it to a modern era. Now this game will be coming out in 2022 as a timed console exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, and just a great way to start out the show because this game looks, like I said, absolutely fantastic. Like, look how good this game looks. Like, this does not look like a small indie production. This looks like a big AAA game, so super stoked to see this game, and I'll definitely be following it going forward. Next up was a game called Toem, which is a game in which you take pictures around interesting areas. I will say the art style looks very unique. It's sort of like a black and white hand-drawn art style, and I really haven't seen an art style like this before. There's a story to it as well. It's one of those sort of relaxing games, one of the games that I probably won't check out personally, but I do think this game has potential if you're into stuff sort of like Animal Crossing and just basically slower paced games in general. Loop Hero is a game that was next, and this is a Devolver Digital published game, and you basically make a world that a hero plays through, and you have to place cards in order for the computer character known as the hero to win, and it basically is a loop of things, so it's constantly going and constantly growing and sprawling. I do think the concept is really cool, but I just don't think this is necessarily a game that I would play or anything like that, but I could definitely see why people would be excited for this. This game will be coming out this holiday season, so if you're a fan of what you're seeing here, you might want to end up checking out this game. Next up was a game called Far Changing Tides, and wow, art style is very important in a lot of indie games. I feel like art style is very make or break with a lot of games, and this game has a gorgeous looking art style to it. It's like a post-apocalyptic adventure puzzle solving game in which you are basically controlling a ship and trying to find a new home. Of course, you're solving puzzles along the way. It looks sort of more like a laid-back experience, but it definitely looks like a game that I would want to check out. Like I said, this art style of the game just looks absolutely fantastic, so I'm looking forward to this game. This game will be coming out in early 2022 for the Nintendo Switch. Next up was a game called Negro Barista Final Pour. It's an anime story-based game in which like dead people get one last night of like partying, and they're at this bar and drinking coffee and stuff like that. It's a director's cut of an original game that I've never heard of before. I'm not super big into anime or anything like that, so I'll be passing on this game, but this game does come out today, so if you're a fan of what you're seeing here, you might want to check it out on your Nintendo Switch. Then we got some updates on some previously announced games, and these games are all coming out today as well. We got a deeper look at Garden Story, Boyfriend Dungeon, which I don't know. This is just weird to me. Boyfriend Dungeon, a dungeon crawler where you get boyfriends and a sword and stuff. I don't know, it's kind of weird. And Axiom Verge 2 is also out today. We've actually talked about that game previously on the channel within the past couple days, talking about how the update data was updated for this game on the Nintendo Switch, so it looked like this game was going to be coming soon, and this game is actually releasing today, so I will be purchasing this game after I finish up this video because Axiom Verge is an awesome game. If you like Metroidvania style games, I think Axiom Verge 2 is definitely going to be very awesome. Next up was a game called Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, and I'm a fan of puzzle games. Meteos is actually one of my favorite Nintendo DS games of all time, and this absolutely looks awesome. It's a part puzzle game and a part dungeon explorer game, and you have different characters. Each different character has their own abilities and stuff. There's online multiplayer in this game as well, and the funny thing was the person presenting this was actually my friend Celia. I've known her for a few years now. We actually talk pretty regularly. She's a super cool person. In the video game industry, there's not a lot of people you could trust, but I definitely trust her. She's definitely a friend of mine. She's kind of weird though, because she has this cat named Schmutz, and I don't like cats. And she always sends me pictures of her cat, and I'm like, why are you sending me pictures of your cat? I don't like cats. Schmutz is a weird looking cat. You know, it's just, I don't like cats, man. They make my eyes water. They make my nose run and things like that. But definitely cool to see the homie Celia on there. And this game looks absolutely fantastic, by the way. Like I said, I'm a fan of puzzle games, so I'll definitely be checking out this game. This game will be coming out this holiday season. Islanders Console Edition was up next. It's like a SimCity style game that's procedurally generated. You place buildings on an island, you build more, and then when you run out of room, you basically scrap your island and then start from scratch. It looks kind of interesting. I don't think I'm going to play it, but it does come out today. Oh no. Oh no. A game that I have previously kind of buried on this channel before is now announced for the Nintendo Switch, and I feel bad for burying it. Look, I buried this game for one reason, because I wanted Advance Wars to come back. Now that I have Advance Wars coming back, I feel like I can enjoy this game a little bit more, and there's people going to be like, oh, you're only liking it because it comes out on the Nintendo Switch. No, I have realized the error of my ways. Now that it's coming out on consoles, I'll actually be able to enjoy it, because this game was announced for PC only before, and that is, of course, the Metal Slug Tactics game. Look, the graphics look awesome. I love all the throwbacks to classic Neo Geo and SNK stuff. There was like a little background thing, a little billboard for like King of Fighters on there. And I mean, come on. This game looks great. Yes, I would have liked a proper Metal Slug. I still think we might get a proper Metal Slug at the end of the day. But like I said, I was kind of pissed because Advance Wars seemed to disappear. Now that we have Advance Wars coming out, I feel like I can enjoy this game. And it just looks awesome. It's coming out in 2022 for the Nintendo Switch. So I'm changing my tune. I'm flip-flopping on this game. Metal Slug Tactics, give it to me. Give it to me. I was wrong. I was wrong about Metal Slug Tactics. Tetris Effect Connected is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Now, like I said, I like puzzle games. I've actually never checked out this game before, but I've heard very positive things about it. It's going to have online multiplayer that's cross-platform. Of course, it's sort of like a more zen-like Tetris experience, sort of like meditating and zoning out, but the music sounds really cool, and there's really cool environments and stuff like this. This game will actually be coming out on October 8th to go along with the Nintendo Switch OLED model and Metroid Dread as well. So definitely a game that I will be picking up to play on my OLED model. I feel like this game will look absolutely gorgeous on that system, so another game I'm looking forward to playing. Then we got a sizzle reel with some updates on some upcoming games and some announcements as well. Astroneer is a game coming out in January of 2022. A winemaking simulator was next. I don't like wine, so I didn't care about this. Slime Rancher, which is a game that I've actually talked about before on this channel. There was another presentation where they showed like Slime Rancher 2 or something like that, and I was like, well, what was Slime Rancher 1? Well, it looks like Slime Rancher 1 is coming to the Switch. Lumberjack, and Curious Expedition. And the final game that they showed was a game that was announced previously from Chucklefish Studios, and that is Eastward. Now, I'm not familiar with this game at all. I must have missed like when this game was announced, but I definitely think it looks very cool. I love the aesthetic of it. I love the music that they played for the background of this game. I hope that music is incorporated. I'm not 100% sure on the gameplay style. It looked kind of like in the brief gameplay they showed, it was like a twin stick shooter. I thought it was going to be more along the lines of an action RPG, but I guess there's going to be RPG elements in this game because it looks like there's a bunch of different characters and an interesting world that you are visiting. And this will be coming out on the Nintendo Switch on September 16th as a timed console exclusive. So overall, what did I think about this presentation? I thought it was extremely solid. Now, yes, I would have liked to have seen an update on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think if they could have gotten the release date for that, for Shredder's Revenge, that would have been like the icing on the cake for this presentation for me. But once again, with these Indie World presentations, with Nintendo Directs, and just basically video game presentations in general, I look for a few key things. I look for surprise game announcements, I look for stealth drops, and I just look for a good variety of stuff. And yes, there was all three of these things. Axiom Verge 2 coming out today is absolutely fantastic. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk looks amazing. Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon looks amazing. So the Metal Slug Tactics game looks great. So there was a lot of games that I personally enjoyed and I will be picking up. And there was also games that, you know, maybe I'm not interested in, but maybe other people are interested in. So overall, definitely very impressed with this presentation. There was a lot of cool stuff in here. If it just would have had Ninja Turtles though, I feel like it would have been a perfect presentation. But now, of course, you have to think about something. We've been saying that there was going to be an Indie World presentation in August and then a Nintendo Direct in September, and now it looks like everything is falling in line with this. I do honestly feel that we are going to get a Nintendo Direct in the month of September. Nintendo always follows up these Indie World presentations a few weeks after the fact with a Nintendo Direct presentation, so now we have even more stuff to look forward to. But like I said, definitely a very solid presentation overall, a lot of games that I enjoyed, but let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. Are you a Hollow Knight fan and you're complaining that Hollow Knight wasn't in this presentation? Because I'm already seeing that all over Twitter. I don't care about Hollow Knight, so it's a whatever for me. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like and share the video as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.